Всем привет, вы смотрите канал 24 часа и с вами JB. Вместе с вами мы продолжаем проходить игру SpellForce и мы проходим кампанию Эрина. Итак, в предыдущей части мы добыли свиток защиты от огня. И затем мы вернулись в Тирганель. Сейчас мы быстренько пробежимся по торговцам. Сходим, попробуем найти Безликого. Ну и затем пойдем Миррутуру освобождать. Сейчас быренько по торговцам. Так, десятчики у нас есть, да? Не, подожди, тебе мы продавать не будем, мы продадим торговцу рун. Чепчик. Надо какое-нибудь оружие более-менее адекватное, а то эти два меча, они вообще херня херней. Конечно же. Основное это у нас задание какое? Кинолония с погибелью огня вернуться. Так, подожди, что у нас прокачано? 7, да? Шесть. Семь, шесть. Где там она? С кем поговорить-то? С Луной?
May Alan give us peace.
What happened to Adele?
She fell off a cliff on the eastern mountain. We don't know how it happened, but hardly anybody believes.
A creature?
We don't know. But Lethair, one of the sisters who accompanied her, claims
You mean an elf killed another elf?
It was a long time ago. Lethair is a priestess. I can hardly refuse, but I...
What?
Question Betha, Lethair, and the guard Fenair. Try to...
Безликий здесь хуеплет стоит.
Mukwa big, Mukwa wise, Mukwa fill all bellies. We serve Mugwa! Great Mugwa! Great Mugwa!
Так. Вот нахрена? Вот херам, так сказать, дебильный квест. Этих придурков надо продать. Так, мы не были еще вот у этих торговцев, да? Этира. Бетла. Где эти долбоклюи?
Greetings, Fenair.
You know my name?
I know of Adele's death. Eileen has sent me to find out what happened here.
So Alina sent a foreigner. Looks like she doesn't trust any of us. How can I help you?
Tell me what happened here.
I was commanded to protect Betha and the High Priestess during a ritual. I believe it had something to do with purifying a desecrated site. So we went up onto the eastern mountain. Lethea came along. Adele chided Betha about some chalice. Then I heard footsteps above our path. I went up to have a look, but I couldn't find anything. When I got back, Lethea and Betha were standing on the cliff, and the High Priestess lay dead in the valley. Lethea sent me to town to call the guards. As I left, I heard her accusing Betha of pushing Adele into the abyss.
Tell me something about Betha.
Betha is a novice in Aaron's order. She is a good creature. She wouldn't harm a fly. She didn't kill Adele. That simply cannot be.
Tell me something about Lethea.
Lethea is cut from the same cloth as Adele, or better said, from the same ice. Adele was a difficult woman. She is a domineering woman, but she works hard. I have a feeling she'd like to be the High Priestess.
Tell me something about yourself.
Me? I'm a god.
But how did you happen to come here?
I was in the retinue of an ambassador of the Utranians. We came up here when the frost marshes were still open. I was fascinated by the elves, their knowledge and their devotion. My lord allowed me to stay, and finally the elves agreed. Since then they value my services because I can wear heavy armor. And these armored fists have taken many an iron that were too hot for the elves.
Who do you think did it?
I'd be inclined to suspect Lethea. She always wanted to become the High Priestess, and Betha would never do anything like that.
Так, летиром.
Thank you. Thank you.
Несколько небольших ран на шее. Так, меня еще торговцы ждут, еще мне Миррутуру надо вернуть. мешаю этому дебилу книжки искать. Ой, идиоты.
Mugwa big, Mugwa wise, Mugwa fill all bellies. We serve Mugwa, great Mugwa, great Mugwa.
I didn't do it! You must believe me!
Calm down. I am just here to question you. Tell me what happened.
Idale? I mean, the High Priestess Idale told me to carry the things she'd prepared for a ritual prayer. Together with Lethair, who was to assist her in carrying out this ritual, and Finair, we went up to that place on the cliff. I remember that Finair went away to trace a sound we had heard. When I handed the High Priestess the artifacts, I noticed I had forgotten the Elen chalice. As she was so often before, she was very annoyed and sent me off to fetch the chalice. I ran to the village as quickly as possible, but when I got back, there was nobody there. I went over to the cliff, and there she lay, dead. I found her just as she's now. Then suddenly Lethair was back there, accusing me. Finair came back, and Lethair sent him. That's all I know.
And what about Fenair?
Oh, he's a decent fellow. One of the few humans that will tolerate up here. He serves with the guards. I was glad he went with us. Who knows what sort of creature?
Tell me something about Lethair.
Lethair is, very headstrong. She worked hard to become Idale's right-hand woman, and she makes the rest of us work.
Tell me something about yourself.
About me? There isn't much to tell. I'm just trying to serve Aaron and my sisters as well as I can, even if it isn't always easy.
I have no more questions. Thank you.
Ну где ты там, в кролике застрял, что ли? Это я куплю, не знаю зачем, но куплю. Мало ли, пригодится. Тяжелое вооружение 8. Меч Китаев. Я принес.
Have you been able to?
I have.
Then you are ready. My sisters and I must tarry here. Idale has departed. You, however, should not delay. We don't know how much time still.
How do I get to Shaldu?
The Imperials have sealed up the gates. We are unfamiliar with their magic, but we know.
How is that supposed to?
This was once the city of the Norcanes. Years ago, my sisters drove the dark. They built these gates. We hope we can find something in the tombs that we take yourself by night to the caves near the Western Bridge. That's where they.
It's time Grim got the punishment he deserved.
Так, лидируем.
What do you want, human?
I want to ask you a couple questions.
Then Eileen must have sent you. I have already named the murderers. What's the point of all this?
Tell me what happened.
A foolish business. Very well. Adele went to the Eastern Mountain with us to carry out the ritual of purification. There were Adele, myself, the novice Baitha, and that uncouth Fenair, who was supposed to protect us. When we reached, the inept novice had forgotten the Elen chalice and was sent back to town to fetch it. Fenair went off to. I set out to look for snow blossoms for the ritual. I must have been. When I got back, novice Baitha was standing alone on the cliff. and the High Priestess Adele lay dead in the valley. At that moment,
Then how do you know Betha pushed her into the valley?
the High Priestess could be as hard as ice, and Betha often shed many tears. She hated Adele.
Tell me about Fenair.
What is there to say about him? He's a human, but I think he's quite useful as a guardsman.
Tell me something about Betha.
An insignificant character. She could perhaps already have become a priestess if she weren't so wrapped up in her emotions.
Tell me something about yourself.
I'm beginning to get a little impatient, but very well. I am a priestess of Arin, keeper of this place and its sacred bond with the Frost Weaver. I have given myself over completely to the service of the community, like all the others here.
Thank
Спасибо.
you. Thank you. Farewell.
И... Я поговорил, я выслушал, и чё? Так, вот это Халбис мне еще что-то должна втереть.
Well, why are you...
Are you familiar with this kind of brooch?
This brooch belonged to one of my sisters. Where did you get it?
Your sisters gave it to me when I healed them from wound burn.
This is the sign of the Aeon Hal, the consecration of the year. It serves among my people as a sign of maturity. If she has placed her confidence in you, then so will I.
Тут торгашка, типа, прикольно. Тихо будь. О. Колечко. Прикольненько. Всё, ловкость. Чепчики нам нужны, но вот этот прикольно. Здесь монеты. Ок. Ну фикс, защита меньше. Зато здоровье будет восстанавливаться. 25. Колечко где-то прикупил. Щит 1. 108. Ладно, я вас все равно заменю. Так, торговец Симмонс. Вот. Тебе я хотел этих придурков продать, а у тебя купить. К 18-й, 16-й, 15-й. Ок. Оружки. Вот этот клиночек. Ничего так. Так, пошли к безликому сейчас. Ничего, пришли уже.
I have here.
Рунетиры появилась у нас. Какого 19-го? Охренеть не встать. Так, что с этими бакланами делать? Нет. Так надо сделать. Так.
Did you find out?
I'm here to ask.
Ask me what you...
Who do you think is guilty?
I really don't know. Lethair accuses Betha, and the word of a priestess has the power of a law. But I can't believe my sisters would do anything like that, especially not little Betha. But Idale and Betha never got along very well. Idale even forbid her from having any contact with Fenair.
Так, короче, я ничего не понял.
Did you find out who murdered Idale?
I think I know the truth.
Let's hear it.
It's not the way you think it is.
Speak. What have you found out?
It was the guard, Fenair.
Fenair? That loyal soul? You think he murdered her?
Yes, he did.
What gives you that idea?
You were the one who told me that Fenair had his... The way Idale was treating Betha must have gotten him madder than he will admit. He must have come back from his patrol earlier than expected. And when he...
But that's just your sermon.
We'll never find out for sure, but we know that nobody heard a scream. She did, because Fenair first strangled her in his fury. If you examine Idale's corpse, you'll see several cuts on her neck that could have been made by armor gloves, like the ones Fenair wears. And he's the only one who wears gloves.
You're right. I noticed the marks, but Fenair's gloves never occurred to me. That poor fool. He has a good heart, nonetheless.
Так, все, торговцы мы закупились. Броню себе новую взяли, вот оружку мы не нашли новую, это печалька. Пришел. Идем освобождать Миррутуру. Понятно. Понятно. Ну и как я его должен освобождать, этот Миррутуру? Кого-то убить должен или что? Окей, в город, значит, за главнокомандующим. Ну ок, пошли. Не, надо этих балбесов наших вызвать, одному нам не справиться.
For the rune! Attack!
Ну давай.
Fight, men! For freedom! Off to battle!
Гаси ты уже их.
For freedom!
Давай уже 16 поднимай. Разбивай уже этих придурков.
For freedom! For the rune! For Awenir's honor! Off to battle! Attack!
Че, еще из портала лезут до бесконечности, что ли? Потому что я этих грохнул, только что сходил. Реально лезут до бесконечности из портала.
Off to battle! For our Nir's honor! For freedom! Off to battle! For freedom!
Не-не-не, это самоубийство. Пошли сюда. Активируем храм. И пойдем освобождать Миррутуру. Нам надо еще чуть-чуть до уровня. У нас здесь Кира там 19, 19, 17, 17. Вот, Готлок 16. Фигать.
Attack! Off to battle! Fight, men! For the rune! For our Nir's honor! For freedom! For the rune! For freedom!
Ну чё за
For the
бред?
rune! For our Nir's honor!
Нехай идиоты. Так, менюшечка, сохранить. Что-то мне не нравится, то, что он меня разбирает. Здорово. Гладиатор. Еще их 3. Ну что ты делаешь? А, ты сквозь стены можешь пальнуть? А вы дураки. Не ходите все-то за мной.
For the rune!
Отлично.
For freedom! For our Nir's honor!
Кто менталистка? Чё, оденешь? Чё у тебя прокачана смерть? Тяжелый палец. 80, ну ладно. Кто у нас там остался? А вот гладиатор. Ну ок, давай призовем этих дегенератов.
Fight, men!
Не хавай 37 за раз.
Attack! For freedom!
The rune calls. Send them to the River of Souls.
Off to battle!
rune's orders? Very well. The rune calls. On my way.
Что ты один только? Алый гладиатор бежит.
Fight, men!
An enemy attack.
At my command! Rune warriors,
on, man.
for me! Attack!
We must drive
Careful!
them back.
Enemy!
Close the ranks!
An enemy attack.
Fight, men!
Ты чё, освободили? И где он, Аршокер, Горшокер? Он придет сюда или где его искать? Кто такой? Отсюда урки бегут.
At your service.
Где
Ready and
Капина
able.
поклон?
Our ancestors are with the destination.
Rune calls. Very well. Right away.
Ну, вот он идет. Горшок. Вопрос, куда ты идешь? Зашпиняли бедного гоблина.
As you command.
Где ты там, Маршок? Шгорк, или как там тебя зовут? Шгорк.
Very well.
О, да тут еще имперцы.
The journey is the destination.
The runes will be done. Very well.
Nice work, Rune Warrior. My people can now to our deal. The York's blacksmiths have been passing down the art of crafting bone weapons for centuries.
Won't the other smiths punish you for giving...
There will be a price for me to pay, but if I give...
I have driven out your enemy.
That's how it is.
Take...
Good. Listen carefully. The bones must come from a mighty creature. Not every skeleton is suitable. You shape them with the... Once the bone has been formed, its rough magic must be adjusted. Blood gems, which all this must happen at a bone altar. You will... Certain bone artifacts work together, which gives them a special power. One more thing. The bonesmiths are mighty, but this might is also a curse. As soon as you have crafted, so be on your guard. Now, these skills are all you need to know. The bone knives are of it.
What bones can I use?
Nazosh, one of the Yorick leaders, wears the bones of an old bone carver around. He set off with his group to the Echo Swamps to loot. Have him turn the bones over to you. The moron can't do anything with...
They're everywhere! Hold on, men!
Скотина.
Back! We must drive them back.
Откуда эти долбоклюи пришли?
Back! We must drive them back.
Fight, men!
Hold on, men.
Куда они тут пришли? Пошли сюда. Так, что там? Аутсайдеры. Куда они тут взялись?
Off to battle!
Что здесь такое, что они сюда лезут? Тут камень есть. Зачет. Я забыл. Ну что ж, на этом мы тогда данную часть будем заканчивать. В следующей части отправимся на болото Долгого Эха за... Что там ему надо? Было. Первый осколок кости на захол болота Долгого Эха. Окей. Ну что ж, с вами был JB, спасибо, что смотрели, и удачи вам. До скорой встречи. Пока-пока.